Okay, so I am going to create a trunk, a pattern that I designed that somebody has requested, something different. So we kind of sat and brainstormed together, so I'm making up my prototype. So I thought I would do it on camera and share just in case anybody's interested in creating one or how I do them. Now, I've done many trunks in my day. For the last 2 years, I started designing trunks, different shape sizes to fit all occasions. This one's going to be for a baby gift. So what I've done is I've built it in 2 different parts, because when you start doing a long trunk and you have a long span and you try to divide where drawers go, it can be tricky getting your division bars straight so that you don't have to build your drawers crooked in order for them to fit. So I've already made part of it. This is the smaller section. These down here will be drawers. There's the top. And then this will be, I will set a tray in here. I'll put some stoppers in there and put a tray in there so that so you have a tray where you can take out and put stuff in the bottom. So this piece is 6 by 5. Now this piece is built the same way I'm building this next side, but the next side is going to be a 6 by 6 side, and then they'll go put together. It will also have drawers in it. The 6 by 6 side, the top of the trunk part, is just going to be left empty for storage. Putting the first pair of baby shoes, maybe your special bib, or whatever you choose to put in there to keep for later. So I'm going to start with the bottom part. You'll see on my pieces I have a BC written, which is bottom casing. So we're going to start out with 4 pieces of 6 by 6. So one of them is, you've got your sides, and then you've got your bottom, and then you've got your back piece. So I'm going to flip these over so the writing is that way it shows on the outside when I'm done. So I take construction strips, which are 1 inch by 12, score them at a 1/2 inch, and then put score tape on each side of the line, on the bumpy side of the score line. So I'm going to take and I'm going to put the strips across. We're going to put them on 3 sides, simply because this has an opening on it. And it really doesn't matter, since they're all the same size, which piece you put them on. Whatever piece you put the 3 on will be the bottom of your trunk. Doesn't matter. So I'm putting 3 on this way, shaped like a horseshoe. Be sure you burnish them down. That's what really makes the score tape stick well. So there's my 3 pieces. So you got 2 sides and a back. Okay, so I'm going to peel these off. Okay, so then I'm going to put this one on here, and you're going to butt these right up against, no spaces or anything, right up against the bottom piece. Make sure you line them up. Okay, so there's those 3 pieces. Flip it over. Again, do your burnishing. Now you want to, this is going to fold up this way. So we want to take this piece that sticks out here, and we want to put a strip on each side. So we want to strip on this side here. And I will cut angles on, I cut angles to slight angles. So when you go to fold things up, they don't bind against anything. So you can see on here I've got an angle cut this way, just a little one. But that's enough to keep it so when I fold it up, it doesn't bind with anything else. Okay. Burnish it down and burnish it down. Now, you'll see when you fold this, See how that looks? You can just see the fold of your construction strip right there. So when you peel off the tape on here and fold this under, you're going to fold this up to where it looks just like it. And that's how you're going to stick it on both sides. Okay, so I'm going to peel off both sides of the tape. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to bring this up. And I push in with this finger to kind of tack it in there. And then I flip it over and run my burnish it down. And see there, it looks just like the bottom side does. And then you're going to do the same thing to the other side. Burnish the inside. So there's the beginning of my drawers. This is this piece down here. This is what it's going to look like. Okay. So then you have some pieces that I use for my guides, for my drawers. So these will go in here this way. And they will be flush right up against here. I do this because this will give, then I have a piece here that is 6 by 6, that's the divider. And then this will sit right on top of those, this way. And then I have some other ones to do the next layer with. So these will go, see, this will go here. So these will go here this way. Oops, like this. And then I have a piece that will go on top of there. And then when I build the top piece, the trunk part for the top, it will fit right down inside here on top of that. So let's back up and let's glue these in and you can see how they go. And at this point, I don't use a lot of construction strips. I find it's really not super necessary the way this is built. I use my favorite Beacon's 3-in-1 glue. So let's see, my longest one goes across the back, would be this one. Okay. So these are, how tall? These are 3, this one is a 3 by 6. So I'm going to flip this over because this is my back side here. Get that down in there. And then these are 3 by 5 7/8. And that'll bring it out to the edge right here. So again, it goes this way. It's just easier to turn it upside down when you're doing it. And if these are a little bit shorter, if you have some scraps and they're a little bit shorter back there, it's fine. As long as you can match up your front edge. See, this one's just a tad bit shorter. And that's okay. Because I'm going to have the thing's going to sit on top of there. So if they're a little bit shorter, you're good to go. They don't have to be exact. This is sometimes a good place. I think mine misses being exact by about 1/8 of an inch. And I'm not going to worry about it. It's going to be in the back corner. You're not going to see it. It helps you use up some of those scraps that you have. Because I don't know about anybody else, but with what I do, I use my scraps I gather my scraps really fast. So now when I glue that down, I usually take some little clips here, and I want to clip it in, top and bottom, to hold it so that it dries good right there. So see, now I have, probably you can't see, or can you? See that little gap right there? There's a little gap down in there. So then I will take my Glossy Accents here, and I will put some of that in there. That will give it strength back in there. And I know you really can't see me doing this. Yeah, you can't really see it, but it's in there. I'm going to kind of leave that lay on the side a little bit so it can. Otherwise, if you pick it up too soon, it'll just run. Okay, that should be set good enough. So then I'm going to take the next piece. This one is 3 by 5 7/8. I'm going to go ahead and glue it in. Oopsie, I hit my camera. So this is going to go in here as well on the other side, and that one fits just fine back there. So I'm going to go ahead and put my little clippies on this to hold it. I see I got a little bit of glossy accents coming out there. Yeah. The problem is if you leave that puddle back there, I'm just going to lay this down again. If you leave the puddle back there, the problem that causes is when you make your drawer and put in there, it's not going to slide all the way in. It's going to want to stop because there's something back there that's not supposed to be there. Okay, let's see if we can do this again. So then I'm going to take this piece, which is my bottom casing divider, and this piece here is 6 by 6. And this is going to sit right on top of here like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glossy accents again, and I'm going to put a bead right along the top of this casing here that I just created, and I'm going to set that on top of it. So let's put a bead of glue right along the edge back there. Right on top of that. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to slide this right in there. Kind of hold it because you want the glossy accents to grab it. Make sure it's all the way down. All the way down. Check your fronts. Make sure this is level with the front. It's kind of hard to cut it once it's in there. Okay. So that is that way. And then again, I will take a little bead of glue of the glossy accents. And I'll tell you what, whoops, I pulled that apart. Each bead of glossy accents on something like this really makes it sturdy. It's not a situation of, you know, it doesn't do anything. It really does. Glossy accents is one of the most strongest adhesives for stuff. And it actually sticks quite quickly. It tacks itself. So you can continue going with it. So I'm just going to hold this in here for a minute. And then I'm going to get these pieces are the top casing. And again, my longest one will be the back because it'll go straight across the back. And these are 2 and 3/4. This one's 2 and 3/4 by 6. 2 and 3/4 by 6. And then these are 2 and 3/4 by 5 and 7/8. And there's 2 of those for each side. 2 and 3/4 by 5 and 7/8. Okay. So this one will go in first, and it'll go down in the back. And when this goes in, it's going to leave, there's going to be about 1/8 of an inch showing. Let me get this in and I'll show you. You're going to have about 1/8 of an inch because when I make the top part and put on it, it actually sits inside. Oops, back. Let's put this back here. Okay, and then again, I will grab some of these little guys and I will stick them on here this way while I continue to work. There. I'll go ahead and put one there too. Okay, see how that's got like that's about 1/8 of an inch right there. And that's the way it's supposed to be. So when you're done, all 3 sides should have that 1/8 of an inch there. Okay, I'll put this one in here this way. Oops, let's move this out just a little bit. There we go. Again, make sure this comes out to the edge so that it's straight. Go ahead and put a clamp in there, just a clip, just to hold it down sturdy. And I like those little bitty ones, so. Okay, then I'm going to take another one and put it back here. Like I said, you have that 1/8 of an inch all the way around there. And we're going to do it one more time. And always test drive your pieces too. So we're going to put this one in here this way. Move this out just a little bit. Okay, this one is going to go in here this way, again, to the front. There's that. And that. Okay, and then this one again has the little bit short. See, it has that gap going down there. But again, it's okay. It's just to have something to sit. And then this piece is going to sit on top. And it's going to sit down inside here. And then once we build the top piece, it's going to sit down inside. So this ends up being all in one, just like this. It's a smooth transition. Right here, this is smooth. Because the bottom, see how the bottom sticks out? This is the bottom, this is the side, and it sticks out a width of the chipboard. So therefore, this piece on this one, on the top piece, sits down inside there. So while we're letting these dry, I'm going to take this. I need to flip these guys, get them out of the way. One of the things after I do, and this does help, push these all down because I'm going to flip it over. I take my Glossy Accents and I run a bead, a fine bead, right inside these joints right here. And again, this makes it sturdy too. And then I just take my finger, lightly run it over and wipe off the excess. So I'm going to do it again here. And then real lightly just run my finger across there to get the... You don't want a lot of it sticking out. Because we are going to wrap the edges with the construction strips as well. This just gives it extra stability. I need to flip these guys over too. Okay. Then I need to, so I've done all those three sides, now I need to do the bottom. And then this is going to sit off to the side while we do the top. Okay, so there's that. I've already done that across the bottom. In building with Glossy Accents, a lot of times you don't even need the construction strips, but I do use them on my outside pieces. Okay, so now there, 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 and there has all Glossy Accents on it. So one last thing to do before we put this aside and let it sit to dry while we construct the top part is, I'm going to move these clips out of the way. I take and I run a bead in the back corners. Again, it just helps hold it in place. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on its back side. I'm going to put a bead back here. And I'm going to put a bead here. And I'm going to put a bead across the bottom, and I know you can't see this in the camera. But I'm going to put a bead right across this bottom right here. And I usually make it a small bead. Oops, didn't get that out of the way. I'm going to glue it in there. And a lot of times, again, I'll take my finger because I want it to be smooth. You definitely want it smooth. You don't want your drawer to hang up on anything. So you want to be sure and have your glue okay, and then I have this gap again. So I am going to put some more in this gap so that it fills it up a little bit more. There. Okay, and I'm going to leave it lay that way because otherwise that's just going to run on me if I don't. And if you have a Martha Stewart, it's got a fine tip on it. You can even run that across your glossy accents there on the bottom and make sure that it is smooth. It really will make a difference on how your drawer slides in and out. Okay, so I'm going to set this off to the side now, and we're going to do, let me get my lid back on here. Now the Glossy Accents does not come with this top on it, but you can buy these tops. They are awesome. Or you can buy the bottle. I had the bottles before. The tops have not been out very long. Not at all. Get this mess picked up out of here. Okay, so for the next ones, we're just building the case for the trunk part, the open part at the top. So I've cut my pieces out already. And these are 6 by 6, so you need 5 pieces that are 6 by 6. These are 6 by 6, and you need 5 pieces. Okay, so we're gonna take one piece that's gonna be our bottom. I'm gonna use this as the bottom, and I'm gonna turn it over because I want the inside to be basically clean. So we're going to take the 6 by 6 strips, and we're going to put them on all four sides. And I can't tell you why I do this, but when I put things on, I usually go one side to the next side, and then rotate it and do the other 2 sides. So there's that one. And then we're going to do, whoops, the bottom here. Whoops. Okay. And then this one here. Okay. So there's all those 4. So this is going to be the bottom. So then we're going to peel off. I peel them all off at one time. And then I'm going to butt these up against there. Okay. 1. 2, and remember, don't leave any gap. Just butt them up against there. 3. 4. Yeah, I see I got a crinkly corner in my chipboard. Smear that out the best I can. Okay, there's my 4. Oops, there I go hitting my camera again. Okay, so let's smooth these down. Okay, so now we got to take these 2 sides. Pick any 2 sides. It doesn't really matter which 2 sides. And we're going to put the strips on those, on both sides. So we're going to put this one here. And then I'm going to go to the other side. And I'm going to put one on here. Whoops, whoops. There goes my bone folder. Onto the floor. Okay. So there's those 2. And then I'm just going to it's easier for me keep hitting my stinking camera. I'm so sorry. So I'm going to turn it this way. And then I'm going to run this one down this side. So I have one here, and then I have one over here. So then I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to put this one on this side. And then we're going to fold this up, just like we did the other one. Make sure these are burnished down. Okay. Bump on that, make sure that's down. So then these are going to be folded up this way, and then so these go here, and then this goes up here. And again, you're going to look at your side, your corners, make sure they look like the bottom down there. Okay? Just going to bring your chipboard right up to the same place that that one is. So let's take, and I'm going to off here, and off here, and then I'm going to go ahead and put this up. Oops, get out of there. Okay. Tap it down a little bit, lightly pick it up and turn it over, but you have to do it easy, and then burnish it down. And then I'm going to come over here to this side, and I'm going to do the same thing. Tap that down, put this down, and I know you can't see me doing it inside here. I think I would have to have a 360-degree camera in order to be able to do some of this stuff where it's not going to be a problem. Okay, so there's that. Take both those off. Again, match this up. That one. Okay, that, and that. Okay, and then see, they look just like the bottoms do. There's that little where it's folded up. So this is going to be our top that's going to set inside there. But I want to go ahead before I do that. Now, I am just going to take on this one. I'm just going to do it on the outside. I'm not going to put it on here yet, because I want to put it on here when I insert it into that one. So I am going to go ahead and do it this way inside there. Oh, there's some places it doesn't have any. There. Okay. I'm going to do it again in here. I'm going to strip down all the way down. There. Okay, so now we have, and that actually does set up quite quickly. So by the time we prep this piece now, we can take all of these guys off. So this will all be done. Okay, and I see I got a little drippy down there. Okay. Now see, this is very sturdy. I mean, I can push on it and it doesn't do anything. It's really, really good. You just want to make sure when you're using the Glossy Accents, there's some down there, that your corners stay cleaned out. You don't have a gob down in the corners anywhere. I see a little bit bled through right there too. You just need your drawers to know that your drawers are going to slide in and out perfectly. Okay, so now we're going to take, this is the top casing 6x6. This is going to fit just right in there, just like that, perfectly. Now, one of the things I do is I'll take my back. I have a Wear Memory Keeper's Corner Chomper, and I'll take the back corners, instead of them being completely square, you can round them. You can even round them 1/4 of an inch if you want. You don't have to have the 1/8 of an inch. If you've got this guy here that has the 1/4 and the 1/2, you can do it with 1/4 of an inch. I happen to have both of them. So this is an 1/8 and 3/8. This is 1/4 and a 1/2. So I'll take my rounded corners, because a lot of times back here trying to get things to, it'll bind and it can throw you way out of whack, and you don't want that. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to do like I did to the last one. I'm going to glue, put a bead of this across the top there. Oops. And then I'm going to take this guy, and I've got my 2 little, here, I'll even do the bigger corner rounding so you can actually see it better. Okay, so I'm going to round this one here. And then I'm going to round this one here. There. So see, those are rounded lots better. You can tell that better. And I'm just going to set this back in there. And then I'm going to hold this together because you want it to stay. The other thing you can do is, if you have a huge rubber band, this one I don't know, is this, oh yeah, this is big enough. You can actually take a rubber band and put it there, because you want to make sure that your sides go up against. So if you have a rubber band that fits it, you can do that, and that will put the pressure on it to keep it square. Okay, so now see, there still is a little bit of a lip there. See that little bit of a lip? Okay, so that is where the top part is going to sit down inside there. I'm going to hold this just for a few minutes, just to make sure. And it's important when you're cutting your pieces that you make sure that you cut. Everything is the same size. So what I do, because I have the Rototrim, is I cut 6x6, and I cut them all, so I know they're all going to be the same size. I have a guide I move over, and I cut them all at the same time. Okay, so see, there's this. So now this piece is literally going to sit down inside there. Just over you. And it should fit snug. If it's done, you know, it should fit snug. And this right here will stick out a little past this, which is okay, because then the front of your drawer will fit up against there. So it'll be just fine. So see how this, get in there. I haven't put the glue on it yet, and I don't want to force it too much until I get the glue on it to make sure it's going to fit. But see, then when it's in there, it's going to be just like that. So it's not, it's going to be flush, because when I'm done, when I get it all done, I'm going to take and put a whole piece of chipboard across this. So this will end up being, I'll put a whole piece of chipboard right across this, so it covers all of this, so it's all the same. See, it will be like this. And then this will just be one piece of chipboard. I think this is like 11, how wide is that? It's like 11 1/4 inches wide on the front, and then you measure on the back, and you have 11 1/4 as well. So the back of this will have a whole piece of chipboard on this, and it's 12 inches tall. It's a little over 12 inches tall, but that's okay. So I'm going to put that piece of chipboard all the way across the back, so it's going to cover all of this. So when you go to put your paper on it, you're not going to see all of these joints. There's not going to be any indentation. It's just going to be a solid piece of chipboard. Okay? So take this off. It looks like we've got this is all stuck really good. I'm going to go ahead and leave this rubber band on here. But I'm going to take this, and I'm going to, let's see, wipe off the stuff that's coming out still. I'm going to take and put it right in here. I'm going to go up against this with a big bead, not such a fine bead. Then when I stick it on there, it'll smoosh in really well. Okay. And then you can also put some of this in here. Just like this to go right across the front. Okay. Put this lid back on here so that it doesn't dry up on it. Okay. So there we have that. There's the top. And I have that little wrinkly spot. I want that to the back just because. Okay. That, and that. There we go. Put your hand down inside there and make sure that you can smash it down the best you can. And all of this, and you can just run your thumb across the seam. Just run your finger across where those two pieces are and make sure that they're even. There, and then you can turn this over if you want to, because it's easier to get your hand in here and smash this down so that the glue, the glossy accents that you put down there will stick to the bottom of your piece, and then, whoops, and then I bring it up and then I pushed it too hard. Yeah, there we go. It's all smashed together. That way there's no gap there. Okay, and then if you have one of the huge ones, I do have one of the huge ones here. You could actually take this and put this way on it. And I'm lifting off of there. Oh, that's why. Okay, so since it's lifting, I don't want it to. I want to put some more of this inside there so that it sticks good. Okay, and off that excess that sticks out. Okay, and I'm going to squeeze that way, and then I am going to use this big one. Okay, there we go. That'll hold it down there better. Move it out here to the front. There we go. Just like that. Okay, and then that will glue, and it will wish I had another one of those big rubber bands, but I don't. So a little bit of time holding it, and it really does stick really good. Okay, so I am going to now take this off. Okay, so everything is really together. Nothing moves anymore. Like I said, this will stick out a little bit further than your drawer, and that's okay. That's not a problem. Okay, so testing it, I'm going to put this here. And I've got the bigger clips in here that I can actually clip it together with to see. sure everything lines up good. Front, back. And these clips just come in wonderful for that. Because my top, I'm going to make my top is going to cover both pieces. Okay. Oops, I don't need that. This one. Okay, so there is my completed, not completed, but there's the two trunks put together. So you can see okay. So this one over here is the 6x6. I'll write on there, so if you need to stop the camera, you can. So this side here is a 6x6 side. And then this side over here is the 6x5, which means it's 5 inches this way, it's 5 inches this way, and this one is 6 inches this way. And then they're all 6 inches tall. So you would build this side over here, which is your 5-inch side, you would build it the same way as I just built the 6-inch side. Just by making cutting your chipboard to the according size. Okay, so that leaves it that way. So now I need to build drawers and the top tray that's going to go in here, etc. So I will be back with another video.